Hey, this is Ken Casey from the Dropkick Murphys, and I love the Grandstanders! Take it away, kid!
Welcome to another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman.
Wow, you
and
may
I'm
not
joined
make it through tonight.
by my usual cohorts, the Professor Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's Milton's first son, Tim Hoey. Well, we have another great show for you tonight. So, boys, let's get it started. Well, as I predicted, the Patriots won 24-10 versus the Vikings. And we had not seen this in a while, guys. But the defense actually stepped up.
Yeah.
They actually
Other than
played a
that
game.
touchdown.
They were the stars of the game.
Yeah, they
Would you
kept
say
them in it.
This is the best game they've played all around all year.
Oh, not even
I think
close.
that's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even when it was 10-10, it felt like the Patriots were winning by 2 or 3 times. Like the way they had controlled the game.
They dominated that game really from start to finish, and that was the only frustrating point was we're dominating a game, and it's a 10-10 score
But
at
they
halftime.
just gave him that touchdown. It was
The offense took
ridiculous.
the week off, but the defense definitely started. That's what you have to have, a balance, boys.
I think that our defense is averaging 16 points a game against over the last 4 games. So we're doing that classic New England Patriots.
Wait
It
till
looks like
December.
a horrible defense after 8 games.
But get better
And then
as
by
season
game
goes.
12, game 13, you're starting to convince yourself they could win a Super Bowl with this defense.
Well, needless to say, we won a Super Bowl against Atlanta in 2007 February, right? And it's been since October of 2018. That's how long it took us to win another championship. And I know it's really had a great effect on Joe that period of time. But the fact is, I'm still not over
It's a drought.
the Super Bowl loss against the Eagles.
Eagles.
And why didn't we do any creative defensive schemes that game? Where was that when they were scoring all those points?
I think this is a much more veteran defense
That was
that
the
they
worst
have now.
defensive game I've ever seen the Patriots play in that Super Bowl.
That's right,
In
Tim.
all the years I've been watching.
So
Yeah,
was
that was
it
the
was it Matt Patricia? You have mentioned that many times. Was it?
Did he
Matt,
throw the game? Are
No,
you saying?
no. Was Matt Patricia? Should he have been fired over that game if he wasn't hired by the Detroit Lions?
Being sent to the Lions is
Yeah.
kind of like
You
being
know what's
fired.
shocking, though, is how many not that many weeks ago, we were talking about the Patriots offense as having 0 weapons.
Right.
None. And now we have riches of
Yeah.
offensive
But the
weapons.
defensive
true.
scheme, we are used to seeing the defensive scheme where only one guy has his fingers on the ground, right? All of a sudden,
Yeah.
they're doing original stuff like they did this week. Why now?
Because first off, I think he plans the defense to improve over the course of the year, and at whatever point during
More
the
and
year
more wrinkles.
where they feel like they've got all the basics down, then they start to throw wrinkles into Joe's point.
But
Yeah.
I think that's
Russ,
what
this
they
is a
started to
veteran
do.
team.
That's
this is
why
not
you
a-
can do it with a veteran
That's
team. You
right.
can't do it with a bunch of
And they're
rookies.
they're also not starting to show it from game 1. They're showing it late in the year. Now there's a whole bunch of tape on them. So I don't know. I mean, what do you think? They threw the early games, or they
No,
decided?
but that's what you're saying.
what's your
Then.
point?
But in some way,
No,
that's
I
your
think that
point.
he
Your point
installs
is, so
more
we
and
lost
more.
to the Detroit Lions because we didn't want to
No.
scheme that game.
No,
No,
lost
the defense wasn't that far along in their development, is what he's saying. Defenses generally develop for every team. They're better at the end of the season than they are at the beginning.
Okay, so what's the excuse for the Super Bowl then?
Well, that was that's
Both
for me a
teams were
Matt
lousy.
Patricia that they were not prepared to play the run pass option in
And
that Super Bowl
also,
for some reason.
Philadelphia's quarterback had one of the greatest games in the
Yeah.
history of football. That game. I mean, he was pinpoint on every
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
He made no.
He was better than
mistakes.
Brady.
That was one of the best quarterback performances I've ever seen in a Super Bowl.
I'm not
I think
getting
it was
over
bad coaching in the Super Bowl. I'm not. I mean, I don't know why we're relitigating the Super Bowl.
Because I
right
can't
now.
get over it, and I
Yeah,
think
but
it's
we're
not talked
can we-
about.
let's get to the present
I
day.
like that relitigating.
Let's jump in the time machine and get
Like
back
my
to the
wife, you
present.
can't forget.
Yeah, I can't forget. All right, so Dante Hightower, who we love, he actually looks slimmer. Is that bizarre? Did he look slimmer to you?
I think those dark uniforms take.
Yeah.
He actually played well, right? For the
Wait till they
first
get the
time
vertical stripe.
in
Getting-
2
Getting
years.
back to how can this team be that team we saw against Detroit?
Well,
And
I
Ten-
How can this
Tennessee,
be the same team?
even
Tennessee,
worse.
Tennessee 3 weeks ago. How can this
Here's
be the
I
same
actually
team?
have an answer for that
Okay,
or
good.
a proposal. We're not the same team on the road this year. We have been
No,
horrible
yeah.
on the
That's
road. We've
true,
won
yeah,
one
right.
road. How many road games? We've won one.
No, two. We
road
beat
games.
New York and Chicago. Chicago was in last
We beat
place at the
Buffalo. We
time,
beat
and
Buffalo.
But
was
we
in
are
last
not.
place.
That
We
doesn't
are
count,
not the
right?
same team on the road, and I think these next two games where we play,
Big
in
test,
Miami,
Big test in Miami.
big test, and then you go into Pittsburgh, and if we can win both of these games, then I'm going to actually think that we're a legitimate, elite Super Bowl winning team. But if we can't win on the road, you're not going to win the Super Bowl
I
this
just
year.
don't know who this team is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it the team I saw 3 weeks ago? Is it the team I saw against Minnesota? I'm perplexed.
I think, Tim, we're going to find out again.
Well, the
against
offense is the one changing over now. You see Gronk and Edelman having reduced roles because they're not playing very well this year, at least not up to their standards.
But Pittsburgh's
And other
gonna be
guys
the
are
game.
going to have to come forward, and Patterson and Michelle and White are going to take larger and larger.
Every addition that we put on offense seems to take pressure off of other guys. Too.
That's right.
So Josh McDaniels, each game he has a mind cramp. Each game we can turn to the TV set and said, "Yeah, I tried to kick that set in because of Josh McDaniels this week because," and this week it was
2-minute warning.
right 2-minute warning, 3rd down in inches. Of course, Tommy Boy doesn't want to get hurt because Giselle won't allow it.
Yeah.
But so he does this crazy play where
trick
he
play.
hikes it to James White.
Yeah.
The play
trick
was a
play.
fail the moment they
Yeah.
called it in the huddle.
That
and
was a
next thing you
game-winning
know,
play in the Super Bowl, though.
right, next thing you know, Minnesota goes down and we have
Yeah.
a game.
No, I was furious, and it does make you wonder when they have well over 90% conversion rate on a quarterback sneak on 4th and inches, 3rd and 4th and inches. Why are we not doing it?
And we got that battering man, James Devlin, back
No
there,
kidding.
who had a great game.
I think that these offensive coordinators like to show off. They're looking for head coaching jobs, and they want to
They
be
outthink
seen
themselves.
as being really creative. And Josh gets ahead of himself once a week. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, because they like it when the Joe Madden disease, right? They like it when
Yep.
the,
When
the
you see
announcers
someone
talk
going
about them.
sideways on an
On a 4th and inches.
Fourth and
Makes
inches.
no sense to
None.
None. Don't run sideways on 4th and inches.
You know who? You know though. You know who? I was missing LeGarrette Blount on a play like
Yeah,
that. A
yeah.
guy
Yeah.
like that. You know, I think we could. I mean, Burkhead brings a little bit of that, but
They've
Those-
not been great on
Devlin's
3rd
about
and
the
short.
same
this year.
size, so that's a nice trade.
No, that's a great point. And maybe you're going to see a lot more of James Devlin, who did score 2 touchdowns. We need a big back in the
you know.
But he is a
backfield.
great blocker.
Patterson
Yeah,
reminds
too.
me a little bit of Blount in
Yeah.
the stature.
But Patterson's not a real running back.
No,
yeah.
but even to Tim's point, get the ball on a handoff and just jump as high as you can over the line. You remember when Sam
that was
Cunningham
kind
used to
of
do
a
that
fun.
all
Yeah,
the damn
yeah.
time? Just hurl yourself over the lineman.
Sam Bam Cunningham style.
Yeah, but
Now
don't do
we're
all the
aging
plays they've
ourselves
done
now.
this year. We
But
have
don't
been
run
terrible
sideways.
in short yardage
Yeah,
situations.
don't run
Hopefully,
sideways.
it's a learning experience.
Yes.
All right, so Mr. J.C. Jackson, is he an undrafted free agent? Is he the next Malcolm Butler?
I hope so.
Boy, they were singing his praises. Those national announcers were singing his praises.
He's got a combination that you just don't see that often. He's 6'2" and he's really, really fast.
Yeah.
You get a 6'2" fast guy, and that guy, and he can play quarterback. and
How
has
did
some
we
skill.
get him?
And put him.
He's an undrafted free agent off the street.
He had some off the field issues.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Don't we all? But then again, I always look at it on how the other players are talking about him. And McCourty was on the podium, and he couldn't say enough good things about
Both
Jackson.
McCourties said
Yeah.
it was-
So,
Maybe another find off the trash heap.
No
but
kidding.
isn't that what happened with Malcolm Butler? A lot of
Out of nowhere.
the whispers were
That's
like,
right.
that Malcolm's doing great in practice. This guy Butler and
Oh, they
he's a
know.
fine-
They
They
send
know.
signals. They know from the first day these guys walk in, whether they've got that thing or not.
yeah, right. That's what we're
Whether-
talking about,
whether
right?
they're professionals or amateurs.
How
They know
great
right
would it
away.
be if this guy blossomed into something?
Oh my God,
Oh,
are you kidding me?
absolutely.
I mean,
At that price tag?
those D-backs are like diamonds.
Yeah, 6'2" and fast. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
And maybe
Rowe
ahead
is-
for the game.
Yeah.
He
And-
replaces Rowe, who's 6'2" and fast.
Well,
but
really,
doesn't
what he
get
did
it.
the other day is replace Jonathan Jones. He
Yeah.
looks like, I wouldn't have been too happy if I was Jonathan Jones listening to the McCourty twins.
Yeah, right, yeah,
on
right,
Sunday.
exactly.
I would have been like,
Jones
oh,
had
okay.
his chance, though.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Next
Had
guy
his chance,
up.
boy.
And
Yeah.
then we felt like we heard having Jones not play in the Super Bowl definitely hurt us.
No.
Yes.
Yes. So, but,
Right.
I mean, he was trending upward, but not anymore.
Not anymore, no.
Let's not talk about the Super Bowl.
So I can't get over it.
I
Rex
know, it's
Burkhead.
pain. It's pain.
We have a Rex Burkhead sighting. We had
Oh,
a
my
Chris Hogan
goodness.
one last week, and now we have Rex Burkhead. If he can stay healthy, which is a huge if, he does add another dimension.
Yeah,
to
On
the
two
team.
plays, I saw this battering ram go into
Yeah.
the line, and like 8 yards later, I'm like, wow, that's quite a run by Devlin. And he gets up, and it was Burkhead.
Yeah.
I said,
Live
oh,
legs.
my goodness.
Yeah, whoever I was, Troy Aikman announcing the game the other day. By the way, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, he's
he said, fresh legs right off the bat. That first run, 9 yards up the middle, and it looked like he got shot out of
How
the
many
cannon.
times have we seen that play this year? Not many.
Not that many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Not many. Just right through the line,
Well,
8 yards,
We
9
haven't
yards.
had guys that could go up the middle.
Look, I think Tim, what he said earlier is right, that we've got a lot. Now you've got 3 running backs, Burkhead, White, and Michelle.
Legit running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gronk can get back to 70% of Gronk.
Oh,
and
just
you've got
block.
Gordon, Edelman, Hogan.
Hogan
as
sighting, you
receivers.
know?
So we don't have a weapons problem. Tommy Brady does not have a weapons problem.
No.
You know, Hogan can get back to getting his 3 catches a game for 20,
right.
22 yards a catch, right up
somebody
the
should
middle.
be open.
And by the way, they are finding a way to trick play Cordarrelle Patterson into getting the ball once or twice a game
Yeah.
for big plays.
And, you know, when you look at his measurables, they're incredible.
Oh, Patterson?
He's a 4.40, this guy.
Yeah.
He's
6'3",
a nice role player. He
220.
absolutely
Yeah.
is. All right, so Uncle Joe and his conspiracy theories, they just go one
don't get him
after
started.
another.
I beg
Well,
you.
he does know.
I heard a couple
I
new
think it
ones
was
He's
today.
a federal employee. He knows.
That's right.
He
Yeah,
knows
right,
things.
Exactly. Enjoy your day off.
Yes, I did.
All right, okay, and let's George Bush W. We have.
Let me tell you, I just got to tell you, I got to mention
41.
something.
So there you go. Absolutely, a
Bush is-
Mainer.
Wait,
George
born
Bush's
in-
home
Yeah.
is 3
Milton.
houses from my home, where
Born
he
in
was
Milton,
born.
Massachusetts.
And Ronan Tynan, who was singing the song, his house and my house abutted each other for a few years.
Ronan Tynan was actually there
was
the
singing.
morning of
No
the
kidding.
day that George Bush died.
Yeah.
Yeah, singing.
Sang
So
for
the,
him. He sang
the
for
guy
him.
singing
Yeah.
at the
That's
guy's
amazing.
funeral, one guy was 3 houses
that's-
away from the
that's
other guy was my
fantastic.
next door neighbor
That's
for a couple of
amazing.
years.
That's great.
I felt kind of important for him.
Yeah.
You
All right,
are
so
important
then we'll
to
go back to the conspiracy theory. So the whole Trent Brown trade from the 49ers was part of Joe's conspiracy theory
Oh,
that
quid
was
pro
part
quo
of
with
the
the-
Jimmy G
Yeah.
deal, which, if we're to listen to Joe, proves that the Jimmy G deal this year was definitely a good deal. I'm saying that
Whoa,
right
whoa,
now.
whoa,
wait a minute.
Right now.
Well,
no,
let's do this.
No,
Where
this
would-
year.
You're
if
putting
not
words-
next
no,
year.
no, no.
If
but
Brown
for
was
this
co-
year.
for this
Hey,
year.
For
Scotty,
this year.
If Brown was coming out of the draft, where would he have been picked?
Trent Brown?
First round.
Well,
First round.
Of course.
Top
yeah.
10
10.
pick?
Absolutely.
You're
Yeah,
right.
absolutely. No, all I'm saying is that ends up this year, because Jimmy G is the future.
So next year,
He is a rental, though. They're going to have to pay
So,
him.
well, that's right.
but let me just ask you a question. Next year, if Jimmy G sort of separates his shoulder in week 2 and is out for a
No,
month
no,
and a half,
no. That doesn't
so is this,
matter.
you're just going to keep rolling it over?
Exactly.
Right, okay,
It's
I
like
see
a-
what
all
you're doing.
right,
Yeah.
We're going to take this on a year-by-year
Yeah,
basis.
year by year
CD,
basis.
yeah.
This year it's up.
This is
year
what I'm
it's
saying
down.
right
Trending
now.
in-
Trent Brown has played very well.
All right.
All I can do is
I
react
admire
to what
your-
I
I
say.
admire
that
your
man is
honesty.
enormous.
I
I
gave
He's
admire
done a
your
better
Scott
job than Sauter did
Yeah.
the 2 years previous.
and Solder's been getting paid a lot
They
of
knew
money
what
by the
they
Giants
knew
for
what they
doing nothing.
wanted. They knew what they wanted. They wanted
did.
this guy.
So we love when people mouth things that we can understand during the game.
Shut the...
All right. And shut the
Shut
F
the
off
front door.
is pretty much
Yeah.
easy to understand
Yeah.
what they're saying. And I sometimes criticize Bill for being the whole Mainer New England act of nastiness. But when nobody like a good true New Englander can say shut the F off, and Bill truly did that at the right time.
You
He's
know
a
what I
thing of
thought when he
beauty.
said that? Thielen will be playing for the Patriots in 2
I
years.
was thinking the same
Like,
thing.
as soon as he did, I turned and said to my son, that means Belichick likes this guy.
Would
Oh,
you
yeah.
agree that was the best moment of this year for the
Oh, it's
Patriots?
awesome.
Right?
Do you agree,
Everyone's-
though? Would you think it would be that crazy
No.
if Thielen is
No,
on the
he's
Patriots
gonna wanna
in a
get
couple
Who
paid.
was the guy for the Ravens?
Every white
back
wide
in,
receiver runs
I know,
for the
but-
Patriots before they end up retiring.
then he
Yes.
came
For
out.
some
Derek
reason, I
Johnson.
just thought this guy's going to be on the Patriots.
He'll be the Eric Decker 3 years from now. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
run him through training camp. All right, boys, we're going to go to the Miami, and we're probably going to end up losing because we do that every
That's what
year
happens.
with Tom Brady.
Unfortunately.
So, little predictions. Pats versus Miami in Miami. Patriots lose 24-23.
You had to get
Joe.
that out before Russell stole it,
Yeah,
right?
right.
He had it on the
I
tip of
know,
his tongue.
exactly.
I'm
Beat
not
you to the
picking them
punch,
lose.
Russell.
That's why I transitioned.
I'm not picking them to lose.
All right, Joe.
I'll go 27 instead of 24 to 10, 27-10 Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah,
Russell.
24-14 Patriots.
Okay.
In
Timmy
keeping
boy.
with the tradition, Miami 27-21.
God bless you, Tim.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Taking one for the team.
Yeah,
Take
I
a
like
look
The
that.
at
reverse jinx.
All right, so I have been so
It's
right.
opposite day.
I was. You have to agree. I was right. Jason Tatum is Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Right.
He could be
I
on his way
wouldn't
to
go
be.
that
He's
far.
not there yet,
I
but
would
he
not
could be
go
on
that
track.
Gordon Hayward's been a complete. Well, not a complete, but he's been a disappointment. I will say. Right.
But playing better.
and now the next
with
prediction.
the little quotation, with the little asterisk next to that, coming off a catastrophic injury.
Oh, it's not catastrophic. What are you talking about? If it was catastrophic, he would never have played again. So do not use that word anymore. Catastrophic means never play again.
Where are you going with this?
Robert
what's the point?
Williams.
Okay.
He wants
Robert Williams reminds me, and he is
oh.
a young DeAndre Jordan.
You know, my son went
possible.
to that game,
That
and he
give
came
you
home.
breaking news, Toddy boy. If you can wake up,
That's not a stretch. That whole statement is a laugh.
My son came home from that game raving about Robert Williams.
there you go. And what do you guys think?
He does have long arms.
7
I gotta
foot
give him
6
that.
inch wingspan.
Yeah.
When I saw DeAndre Jordan for the first time play remember they only come one time a year. When I saw DeAndre Jordan play the Celtics, like the first 5 minutes against the Celtics,
Block
the first
three.
time he ever played,
Yeah.
I had not seen a guy like that play.
Yeah.
Williams has that potential.
Well, here's the thing about Williams. I think he's got a couple of things going for him. One is he from all the comments, he seems to be a hard worker and he's learning. Right. The other is he's going to put some weight on, which is a good thing, right? So you
You'd
put a
rather
weight
him
on.
skinny to get heavier
No
than
kidding.
fat to get
so
skinnier.
I actually think that he will play some meaningful minutes at some point in time this year.
I agree.
This
Man,
year he will play some meaningful
You
minutes.
put him
for this
under that
team.
rim
Yeah.
to do some stopping.
That's right.
That ball is almost impossible to get to the hoop when he's under there.
and the
right.
kid's
You're
running
gonna,
some
you're gonna
nice
see a lot of
picks.
goaltendings off of this kid.
Especially if he gets a little more weight on him.
He wants
stronger.
to block every shot that comes near him.
But can you see the upside?
It could, absolutely,
The greatest
sure.
upside would be a DeAndre Jordan. Would
what
you agree?
Oh, yeah.
What a
yeah.
steal he would be if he could flourish. If they can round
be a
him
big
out,
deal.
boy.
He's
Oh,
already been a steal.
If they don't put him in a deal for Anthony Davis.
That's right.
Ooh.
That's a great point, Russ, because I would say at least that his value is far greater
sure.
than his draft spot.
For
Would you
sure,
agree?
right? Yeah, absolutely.
You
Right
know-
now, it seems to be, he's more valuable than, where'd they pick him at 28 or something
Yes,
like that?
right. So there you go.
You worry though. You worry what this kid could be, what we might be giving away.
Yeah,
Well,
although,
you
Yeah,
get
but
Anthony
what do you
Davis.
get? Anthony
You know
Davis in
my
return.
love for Anthony Davis. I mean,
It's deep.
I'd give 3/4 of the team away for him. More than that.
rent
And
a
your
bus
kidney?
to take him to the airport.
Could we get a kidney
He's-
from you?
you might. I got two.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love Anthony Davis. Boy, if we could ever get him.
Oh my God,
He's
that's a
a
dream.
beast.
All right, Grandpa Gordon Hayward, and he's still Grandpa to me,
Mm-hmm.
is showing some life. I'm not ready to go
Yeah.
over to the other
Yeah.
side here.
Well-
He's still dark side, $32 million Gordon.
He's
Grandpa,
been
but
been on the upswing, but the thing he showed the other night was that he could go out and flash and have a 30-point game,
Right.
which we didn't see.
And he's out of your doghouse, it seems.
No, he's
No,
not
no.
completely out of it, but we're getting some contribution.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the fact is, this is it's black and white. I want contribution. We
Yeah.
can talk about it all we want, but I'd
Productivity
like to
first.
see some numbers
I
here.
mean, he's a pure drop dead shooter. I mean, he has the capability to just go out there and just fill it up all night long. You
Yeah.
know? He's just.
What I
I think he's
give him-
got
I
to
don't
get his
know if we've seen
He's
that
got to get his
before.
mojo.
What was good to see, and he still hasn't completed it. They've actually run that same play he got hurt on twice.
Yeah.
He almost got that the other night. He
Yeah.
just missed, and another month maybe he gets it. And once he does that, I think he's back.
Right? All right.
I think he's coming to the point where going to be out of his
Yeah,
memory.
I think that's right.
So Marcus Morris, I know he's playing well, but the fact is, boys, we know what Marcus Morris is, and he's a nice complimentary
like him.
player who shoots too much.
Yeah.
Right
was his
now,
job.
he's
That's his
at
job.
his highest trade value, and I think that he, not Rozier, or maybe Rozier gets packaged, he's your best trade bait right now.
Oh, yeah, he has more value than
But don't you
Rozier.
need him? Look, I think if Jalen
Good
comes
point,
back
Russell.
and plays really well, you could you could have a great opportunity to deal Morris at the height of his value, but you'd have to get something back that helps you this year. I don't want to trade Morris for
I
like
got a
draft
question.
pick.
Oh, no,
if
no.
we're going into the playoffs tomorrow and you can only take Brown or Morris on your roster, who do you take?
I'm taking Morris.
I'm taking Morris,
tomorrow.
too.
Well, I guess, but that's not. I don't even know why.
I would have said that
is a
last year.
scenario.
I'll say
No,
it this
but-
year, though.
Well, it's going to be a scenario in playing time. Like if you get to the playoffs and Brown is who he is, right, and Morris is who he is, who's playing over who?
No, look. My point is that we need a rim protector. Okay.
You just
We
talked
have-
about a rim protector.
who?
Robert Williams. You just
Oh,
told me
no,
he was
but he's not
DeAndre
gonna
Jordan.
play. He's not.
He's
no,
not
not
ready
this
to
year.
play.
Not this year.
Wait a minute.
Serious
You're the
man.
guy.
A young DeAndre.
How many years have we been doing this?
4 years.
Right. And you're the guy who says if he can do it, he can do it. Doesn't matter how old he is.
No. My expectations aren't now that Robert Williams is going to help us like that.
So you're gonna
I
give
need
up a
20
major
to
asset.
25. Who's a free agent after this year?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm
Look,
not buying
the
it.
problem is we got the shooters, guys. We got enough guys without Marcus Morris to take shots. We don't have enough rim protectors.
If it's the
Marcus
case, then
Smart would love to take
let's see
more
where we
shots.
are in February.
Morris has played himself into this role.
sure has.
Marcus Morris last year, he'd go in there with 4 guys that couldn't score. I said, why does this guy shoot every time he gets it? And I looked at who he's playing with. He was the only guy that could score.
The only one who wanted to score.
We
Yeah.
wanted to trade Marcus
So
Morris
here's
for a low first round.
Let me
pick.
tell you, Marcus Morris is a valuable guy right now. Who
Yeah.
you could,
Yeah, I'm
Scotty,
more-
kind of to your point, he's worth something.
Exactly.
Look, I don't think it's a crazy idea at all, but I would rather use the fact he's going to be a free agent and he's fitting in and playing well to our advantage for the rest of this year as opposed to trading him. But it's a legitimate question to ask. I got a question though. So if this is Jaylen Brown, if the Jaylen Brown we have now, which is to your point, like kind of looks like the guy we drafted,
Yeah.
right? So, and you've got one more year of Jaylen after this year before you got to pay him big money. Would you consider dealing him at this trade deadline?
Well, I think that you're only going to consider that if you're going to get Anthony Davis, and that's going to be after this season.
Let's say it's not Anthony Davis, but let's say it's a top 5 pick in next year's draft.
Did we see?
So then you're giving up
Yeah.
this year to get a top 5 pick for next year.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna be a free agent. We
only
gotta
if
bring that
he's
into
got-
play.
He's got one more year of total control before you really have to start to pay him. And
Why would you be willing to
Also
sacrifice?
be like a year and a half. He's got
but
a
you
year
get,
and a half left.
Why would you get worse this year and sacrifice a potential?
my point is that right now
championship?
he's not contributing anything. I mean, if this is the Jaylen Brown that
Oh, I
that
know,
we're
but it's
seeing,
a long season.
Yeah,
I'm just
he'll
saying,
come back tomorrow night.
it's not
there
out
are
of the
two
question.
players I don't really see fitting into this system right now: Jaylen Brown and
Right.
Terry Rozier.
Right.
Those are the two guys that don't seem to get this complete team concept.
I know, but Timmy, you're saying that now in December when everybody's healthy. But
So you want to give
come
Jalen more?
March,
So you're gonna keep giving Jalen time, and I think that's
of course,
appropriate.
absolutely.
Right.
But Russ, that's your argument with Rozier. You need him as a backup to Kyrie, right?
Celtics
That's
do
why
not
you
need
need
No,
him
him.
as
I
draft
do
picks right
not
now.
believe that they need Rozier this
Oh,
year.
you've changed,
No,
sure.
I've been saying this for weeks now. If this is the Terry Rozier we're getting, then I don't see what we're
I
getting
know.
out of
We
it.
need lots of depth to win a championship this year. Depth, boys. All right, boys. The NBA has a lot of great players. I would argue to say that the NHL just announced expansion again, which is
Seattle.
yesterday
Oh, my
to
God.
Seattle, and
Seattle.
no league should expand less than the NHL. But I
Right.
would argue that no league should expand more than the NBA. We're seeing even in the bad teams a lot of good
Were
players.
there, are the 30 NBA teams? Not 32, right?
No,
So
30,
you
yeah,
could expand by 2.
The reason the NBA, there's so many. All you need is a bucket and a ball. So there's so many kids that can play basketball in this world.
Around the world, yeah.
Around the world. So
But we're seeing that. We're seeing a
yeah,
lot of
and
top
that's what I
players.
mean. It's like you could just keep going with this league, really.
There's probably 10, 20 guys in Europe who could play meaningful basketball in the NBA right now.
Absolutely.
And
Right?
going forward, coming out of Asia and
a
Africa.
really good
I'm sure.
point.
I think it's the most talented group of NBA players that I've ever
Where would you
seen
put?
in
So
our
you put a
lifetime.
team back in Seattle, probably. right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
And then you put a team
they're building
somewhere
a new
else.
stadium for the hockey team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know they've always talked about Norfolk, Virginia
Vegas,
Beach,
obviously.
Adrian's area. Yeah, Vegas, obviously. Yeah, you're right. Next time expansion comes, it's coming
Vegas
to
and
Vegas.
Seattle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and you can move
Wouldn't
like
Washington
and you can
complain?
move Memphis to the east because
If you're Norfolk
Memphis
or
is the
Virginia
eastern
Beach.
team.
No, possibly. No, it's far enough. All right, so boys, we got to go to the world champion Boston Red Sox. Do you realize they won the World Series? I don't know if you guys remember.
Forgot.
So Red Sox are visiting the White House. I don't need to get into the political ramifications.
I
of
like
any
it.
of that.
I like it.
But the fact is, if the Red Sox want to go to the World Series and celebrate
To
it,
the White House.
The White House.
the White House.
Yeah, go for
It's
it.
not
Give them a
problem.
choice. If you want to go to the White House, go to the White House. You want to go to Walter Reed and say hi to all the guys.
Yeah,
in the
I
bedroom,
got
go
no
there.
problem.
You know what's
Okay,
funny?
Everyone goes on
I
the
mean,
trip.
John Henry, the owner of the Globe, who is unabashedly a Trump hater. I like it. I like it's the institution of the White House.
Exactly. You
I
can't
don't
just
care
go
who's
each
sitting
year.
in that seat.
That's right. You can't just
know,
go each
It's
year
a,
based on.
it's a reward for.
So long as I think you let the individual players make the choice.
yeah,
Okay,
Right.
so
Sure,
I know
So the
about
team
that.
should say yes, and then
Yeah.
I don't think we should blame individual players for going or not going.
Tim Thomas is the one who started
Right.
all this.
Yeah, right. All right, Jonathan Shoup. This is breaking news, and I'm creating the breaking
Who?
news. Jonathan Shoup, who was
pretty
a
good
star
player,
for the
yeah.
Baltimore Orioles,
Too.
huge pop. He had a 34 home run.
Did we
season.
get him?
No, I'm just predicting it. The fact is, he probably could have already signed with another team.
Oh,
But he'd be
I'm not
nice.
gonna blame you for
He'd
that.
be a nice addition.
Dustin's gonna.
Are
get
we
the,
still paying Dustin $17
Yeah,
million
but we're
a year?
Aren't we paying Resney? Aren't we paying
Yeah.
the fat?
Do you
tub
think
of
there's
goo?
any
Yeah,
chance he makes it back?
Dustin?
No,
He's
no.
going to give it a shot.
He's done. He's done. He's absolutely done. All right, Brock Holt's value, and I
Oh,
love
here we
Brock
go.
now. And I've come to the other side. Look how much I've
What
got.
if we package Marcus Morris and Brock Holt for
Yeah,
second baseman?
They're
All the
perfect.
guys
What do you
You
say?
don't like- and a rim protector.
Get a rim protector.
Brock Holt, would you agree? His value has never been higher to trade
No, but why would
Where are
you?
we
because
going
you have
with this?
Edwin Nunez there.
Didn't
you can
tell me
always get utility
on this
fielders.
on this show 3 weeks ago? You said I am never
I'm
ever
not
going to say.
criticizing him. I'm saying
No,
this
but you
is-
want to. Do you want to trade him out of town?
Absolutely, yes.
He seemed like Cora's right-hand man. He's practically the bench coach.
The second round, time around, it's not going to be the same. He's not going to be as cute and happy and never. Come on, this is the time to
better
trade
than
him.
And what would you possibly get for him?
Oh, I bet you could get a little package and get a nice mill reliever.
You think he's
Do you
going to
think
be
he could?
You think he's in the starting nine for anybody?
Yes,
He's
absolutely.
a backup. He's a
The
backup
Orioles.
He is exactly where he's
No,
supposed
but
to
the
be.
whole
really,
clubhouse
you
guys.
really hate Brock Holt, don't
No,
you?
I don't hate him. I'm just.
He's right where he's
He's
supposed
trying
to
to
be.
charge of the
maximize-
Gatorade.
Maximize the potential
the,
for the World Series champion.
Keeps the
Boston Red
fans
Sox.
entertained behind the dugout for the game. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
come
right
on.
where he belongs.
It's cute little
He
Brock
fits in.
Holt.
He doesn't ask for a lot of money.
Scotty, he's
Just keep him
valuable
there.
to us in this role.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the smile off Rusty Boyce's face and say Tyler Thornburg was
I cannot
re-signed
believe they
this
did
week
that.
to a
Resigned.
Stephen Wright deal
Not
where
re-signed.
he gets $2 million
I-
for absolutely no reason.
I don't get it.
Is
I don't
it-
get it. Here's a guy that cost us a fortune,
Fortune.
right?
Absolutely, half of our.
What only
Right.
literally just had a mental breakdown and couldn't follow
Couldn't
the
read.
exercises
No,
that
he
the
couldn't.
Red Sox prescribed for them, hurt his shoulder, and now we're still dealing with this like 3 years later.
And we gave up Travis Shaw, who only hits 35 home runs a year annually.
I
And
mean,
plays a position
we
of need.
can't
Yeah,
do better
first
than
and third,
Tyler.
we need
We
that.
can't do better than Tyler Thornburg for $2 million.
No, we can't.
Is that what you were telling me?
No, we can't. All right, boys. This is my prediction because I'm predicting so many things tonight. The Yankees,
Without the hat.
because the Yankees really won last off-season's headlines, didn't they? With getting Stanton. right?
Sure,
So,
yeah.
and how did that work out for the dreaded Yankees? This year they're going to win it again. This off-season, right? They're going to win the headlines.
I hope they don't win it by how you say they're going to win it.
No,
With
but they're going
Eovaldi?
to win the headlines
Yeah,
again.
you
Right.
worried about Evaldi?
I am.
I am too.
I
yeah.
am too. That's what all they need is more starting pitchers.
Oh,
It-
no,
it's
I've
a
got
double
breaking
win.
news.
They don't have to face him.
And
I've got
And they
breaking
get 'em.
news from William
Yeah.
the intern.
is that right?
William.
Yeah, William the intern. Yeah, exactly. William has told me that his sources say that Nathan Eovaldi is close to re-signing with the Boston Red Sox.
Really?
Yeah, that's right.
Are these like Brookline sources?
Yeah, I don't know whether. Yeah, possibly.
Because there's a
right?
lot of
Yeah,
firepower
I
in
think I'll-
Brookline.
Yeah,
Back.
you know the high
And
school.
what
There's
do
a
you
lot of chatter.
what do you think the dough would be?
Oh, now after Corbin.
17 million?
After
That's what
Corbin
they're
just
talking now.
signed at 20 plus, I'm going to say 5 years, $100 million.
No. 5 years, like 70.
If the Yankees
throw
get
it-
involved,
like if you take
yes.
that
5 years,
Thornborg
100,
$2 million a year, give it to
5 years,
throw it on the
$100 million.
15.
Look, the guy, if he signs with the Red Sox, like Williams says, in the next couple of days or something, it was because of that
I'm
deal.
guessing 4 and 70.
Are they taking the money on the increase on our tickets? And
Oh,
Oh my God, I can't get over that. All right, boys, I got to end our show tonight. Want to thank the boys. Want to thank everyone behind the scenes. Of course, the lovely and talented Adrian, handsome Todd, and William the intern. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune in again next Wednesday night at 6:30 for another edition of Grandstanders Live. Also, Friday night, Dirty Water Live TV. On
What
Friday
time?
night?
What
on,
time is
I
that?
think 9:30.
9:30.
At live at the Greatest Bar across the street from the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Well, that's our show for tonight. My name is Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night. I'm Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night. The elephants are in town.
Here comes the circus.